Dear friend, there are fears we cannot explain. There are memories that do not belong to this life. And there are tears falling from the eyes of an animal. In the Buddhist teachings, karma does not disappear. It only waits for the right moment to return. Whether swift or slow, every cause will bear its fruit. Today, we invite you to sit down, breathe slowly, and listen to 3 true stories from the time of the Buddha. Stories not only about past lives, but perhaps about the very life we're living now. Story 1, the butcher and his 7 lives as a pig. During the Buddha's lifetime, there lived a man who was known for one thing, butchering pigs. No one was faster, cleaner, or colder than him. His knife was sharp, his hands steady, his heart indifferent. He once said, I'm just doing my job. People eat. I just prepare. It's not really my fault. But karma doesn't care what you believe. It doesn't ask for excuses. It responds to actions. One day the man fell seriously ill and died suddenly. But instead of finding peace, his consciousness was pulled straight into the next life. He was reborn as a piglet. Though he could not speak, remnants of his past life remained. When he heard the sound of a sharpening blade, he trembled. When a human approached with a rope, he cowered in the corner, heart pounding. As he grew older, the fear deepened. And when the day came for slaughter, he screamed. Not just from fear, but from a strange, terrible memory. He died by the knife and was born again as another pig. This cycle repeated 7 times. Each life, he suffered the same fate he once inflicted. No one around him remembered who he used to be, but karma remembered. In his 8th life, he was born human again, but mute and plagued with anxiety. Whenever he heard knives clashing, he broke down in tears. One day his mother took him to a temple. There he heard a monk chanting verses on compassion and the law of karma. And for some reason, the boy began to cry. Not out of fear, but out of deep soul-level recognition. The Buddha once said, "Those who kill bind themselves to endless suffering. Compassion is the only path to liberation." Remember, every life you take may be a life you will one day live. Story 2, the fisherman who became a giant fish. Some deaths come like waves, suddenly without warning. And some rebirths come as payment for debts we've long forgotten. There was once a fisherman who lived in a coastal village during the Buddha's time. Every morning he cast his nets and pulled up hundreds of gasping fish. When asked if he felt guilty, he laughed. "They're just fish. They don't know anything." His family prospered. His nets were always full. Then one day during a sudden storm, his boat capsized. He drowned. But instead of fading into blackness, he opened his eyes. He was swimming, not with arms, but fins. He had been reborn as a giant fish. At first he was disoriented, but soon deep fear took hold. Every sound in the water terrified him. Each time he saw the shadow of a net, he fled in panic. He lived for many years like that, hiding, trembling, alone in the deep. Then the day came. A young fisherman cast his net and caught him. The entire village gathered to see this strange, massive fish. A little boy pointed and said, "Mama, why do its eyes look like a human's?" As the butcher prepared the blade, a single tear rolled from the fish's eye. A monk happened to pass by and sensed something unusual. He gently began chanting blessings. The fish died, not with fear, but with a flicker of peace. The Buddha taught, all beings fear death. That which we fear for ourselves, we must not inflict on others. Remember, what you do for fun today may echo as suffering tomorrow. Story 3. The Cattle Butcher and His 7 Lives of Suffering. Some jobs are done without malice, but still carry great karmic weight. Some justifications sound reasonable, but karma doesn't listen to reasoning. There was a man who worked as a hired slaughterer in a cattle yard. He told himself, it's just a job. If I don't do it, someone else will. I have no choice. So he slaughtered every day and convinced himself he was innocent. Then death came quietly, but that was not the end. It was just the beginning. He was reborn as an ox, and for 7 consecutive lifetimes he lived as the very animals he used to kill. In his first life, sacrificed in a ritual. Second, beaten daily to pull heavy carts. Third, blinded by burning coals. Fourth, starved to death. Fifth, sixth, seventh, and seventh, lived and died in endless pain and fear. Each life ended in a violent death, only to start again in a new, suffering body. In his 8th life, he returned as a human, but this time he was mute and deeply sensitive. At the sound of a whip or the cry of a cow, he wept uncontrollably. One day he met a monk speaking about compassion and karmic consequence. He could not speak, but he listened. From that day on, he chose a new path, caring for animals, never harming them. The Buddha said, to kill another is to destroy your own peace. True strength lies in compassion. Remember, justifying harm doesn't erase its consequences. Karma keeps the account. Dear friend, we often think that small actions don't matter, but in the law of karma, nothing is ever truly forgotten. Every action, whether kind or cruel, plants a seed. If today you are choosing kindness, choosing not to harm, choosing to listen, then you are already changing lifetimes ahead. If someone you love still lives without awareness of this truth, share this story with them. Perhaps it will awaken something long buried. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to Buddha and Me Daily for more stories of awakening, compassion, and the deeper truth of our existence. Until we meet again, in the next story or the next life. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.